Yo, what is up everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes reaction video to this year's Fallen Heroes banner that has just been revealed. And they definitely picked some characters I didn't expect, a few of them. And I mentioned this before, but Fallen Heroes, there's a lot of candidates for them because a lot of characters get possessed and whatnot in Fire Emblem. So, there's definitely a lot of choices, but they picked some interesting ones this year. So this year we're starting off with Fallen Lilith, and this time she is a red flying dragon compared to her base version, which was a blue flying dragon. And this one is pretty much better in every way because she retains her movement utility within moving to a space to a support partner, which is pretty cool, and then also having +5 to all stats. But this time she also comes with no follow-up as a status or a bonus, so that is pretty good for her. So Silent Power is definitely a pretty solid weapon, nothing super duper crazy, but solid for her and her movement playstyle. She comes with Draconic Aura because she's a dragon, and attack speed catch 4, which is always nice. Dive Bomb, which is pretty good because there isn't that many flying dragons that could utilize it, and I've seen a couple +10 normal Liliths before in the past that have had Dive Bomb, some +10 ones, so that's pretty cool. And then she also comes with a new skill, a tier 4 smoke skill. So speed smoke 4, I definitely didn't expect this, so this is pretty creative, I think, in terms of, well, maybe not creative because the effect is nothing new, but in terms of, like, I just didn't expect a smoke skill to have a tier 4 version, so definitely threw me for a loop here. So speed smoke 4, after combat, inflicts speed -7 on target and foes within 2 spaces of target through their next actions, and then also grants speed +6 and dodge to the unit for 1 turn. So that is pretty cool. Having dodge can kind of free up your B skill for a lot of units, although obviously you have to survive a round of combat, but that's still pretty cool. So having dodge is going to be nice, and this is going to be a pretty sought after skill for some people at least. I'm not going to pull for this or try to pull for it, but speed smoke 4 is definitely pretty nice. So, and the thing about the regular smoke skills is that they only affected the targets, or they only affected the foes around the target, and this time the smoke 4 skills affect the foes and the target, so they're pretty much better in every way as you'd expect. So that is a speed smoke 4 skill, and there's also the attack version that we'll get to later on. So that is Fallen Lilith. She's pretty interesting as a unit. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say interesting, but because we haven't seen, like, we saw her regular version do the same thing pretty much, so this one is going to have a lot better stats and just going to be better in pretty much every way. So that is Fallen Lilith, and that animation is pretty cool. So the next unit on the banner is Fallen Ninian, probably the character I like the most here because I do like Ninian a lot. She's an awesome character. If you've played Fire Emblem 7, you know her story, and it's pretty tragic, and it makes sense that she's being possessed here because she does get possessed by Nurgle. And unfortunately, though, about Ninian is this Ninian has really low attack once again, which sucks. Because base Ninian had really low attack as well. I don't remember the exact stat of hers, but as you can see, the might on her breath is 16, and you can see her stat right here as she attacks the sword cav. So she has a 16 might breath, and her attack is 45. So 45 minus 16 is 29. So she only has 29 base attack, which is unfortunate. Actually, less than that because she has B-dual Infantry 4, which boosts everything by 2. So that's even less than that. Sorry, that's actually 26 or 27 attack, which is tragic. Because it's kind of staggering to get a unit with this low of an attack stat in 2022. Last time I remember that we got a unit with this low of an attack stat was like Merlinus, but it makes sense on Merlinus because he's the convoy guy and he's a demote unit. But them giving Ninian this base attack stat sucks. I mean, obviously she's a dancer, so she's not going to be attacking. But there's a lot of dancers in the game that can also, pick off units, and they're not completely weak. So it kind of sucks to see Ninian have really low attack once again. But she's still a pretty good unit. So let's get into her kit. Enveloping Breath grants res +3, and if Singer dances used, inflicts attack res -7, and guard and foes in cardinal directions of unit and target through the next action. So really good support. Right there, and that can also synergize well with crossbar attack that she also comes with. And then also at the start of combat, if she's alive, she grants speed and res +6 during combat to her. And then if the foe's range, so yeah, the adaptive damage. And then she comes with a preferred dance skill, which is really nice because if she didn't come with a preferred dance, it would really make her a lot worse. And like you got to separate yourself when you're a dancer, because like every dancer has inherent value because you can give an ally another action. But if you have a preferred dance or some kind of really good support special effect, you can separate yourself. So I'm glad that you came with this Call to Flame. So this effect is really good It gives, of course, another action to your ally, and then attack +6, and special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat. So the free heavy blade, flashing blade effect with no stat check. So that's really good to give that to an ally for 1 turn. And then also, if an ally is a dragon, that ally can move an extra space, which is huge for dragon enthusiasts, and also another dragon unit that is on the banner. So that is pretty good support. And even if you don't have a dragon on your team, it's just nice to have the free heavy blade charges on any kind of unit. So that is pretty good. And then she comes with Buto Infantry 4, so another unit in the regular pool with this. The other unit with it is Marianne, so that's pretty cool for people in Arena. I do wish there was another skill though, because I feel like going for these skills, I personally don't really use these skills. So, and even if, like, cause I have a lot of high scoring units, but even if I didn't have high scoring units, I wouldn't go out of my way to pull for Arena skills, because I'm not huge on Arena. But I guess it's nice for people who want to, you know, build an infantry unit that's low scoring. Comes with Odd Pulse Tie, which is pretty good in modes like Summer Duels, especially to stop all those pre-charged AoE spammers. And then Crossbow Attack, like I mentioned, is going to be nice with her weapon. So then in here, I'm glad she got another alt. It's been a long time since she got one. And every version of her in Fae is a dancer, of course. And this one's definitely the best one. But it's just unfortunate to see her attack stat low once again. But again, she's going to be dancing, so her attack stat isn't going to matter, but I do wish she had a little more attack, just in case she does need to attack. So there she is, just nuking the Sword Cavalier. So I'm glad Nini got an alt. And then third unit on the banner is Gustav, whatever you call him. He's finally in the game non-seasonally. The dad of Alphonse and Sharina finally getting in, even though this is his dead dad version, his pale-ass version. So this time he's an Axe Cavalier, and we've seen him in the story maps before. He was pretty decent back then. I think, didn't he come with, like, I think he had like Desperation in his B slot or something like that. I don't remember if his weapon was, I think his weapon was different. So this time, Headsman Glitnir, this gives him -1 cooldown, and if he's alive, he inflicts attack speed and defense -5 on the foe during combat, and then grants special cooldown charge +1 and inflicts -1 cooldown special charge on the foe. So this is pretty good. This is the special fighter effect that we've seen on Blazing Durandal Eliwood, although for Eliwood and Roy, that only works if they initiate, if I remember correctly. This time, for Gustav here, this works in both phases, so that is really good. And it's really good for Cavaliers because they have the high mobility and they can't get special fighter normally, of course, because that's a fighter or an armor only skill. So this is a pretty good weapon. And also the foe can counter, or if foe initiates combat, he gets a guaranteed follow-up attack, so that is pretty nice. He comes with Bonfire, Attack Defense Catch, Attack Defense Near Trace, and Attack Smoke 4. So the difference between this one and the speed one is that you get the foe cannot make a follow-up attack for 1 turn, and then also defense res +6. So pretty good effect. I don't think it's going to be as sought after as a speed smoke 4, but we'll have to see, because I feel like there's more units that will want the dodge effect than having foe cannot make a follow-up attack. But that's still pretty nice for tanky units and units that can take hits, or mixed phase units. So yeah, Gustav here obviously can take a lot of hits because he's a very bulky man. So he comes with Bonfire, Attack Defense Catch. So yeah, that is Fallen Gustav. Pretty good. I'm glad for his fans, because there's a lot of fans for the OCs of Fae, and you know, Gustav finally gets his chance, even if it's his dead version. But you know, he's not seasonal, so hey, that's pretty cool. So that is Fallen Gustav. Definitely going to be a solid Axe Cavalier for sure. And he's just going to kill this blue Manakee with his Bonfire. Let's see how much his damage this does. Yeah, 84, that's a lot. So the last unit on the banner is Fallen Rhea, probably the most controversial unit on the banner. And the Immaculate one is kind of reminiscent of Fallen Edelgard, who is one of the most infamous units in Fae. So, you know, Fallen Edelgard was a colorless beast in armor, and this time Rhea is a colorless dragon beast. So yeah, you can see why. But this time I feel like she might not be as oppressive as Fallen Edelgard, at least in my opinion. I don't think she will be, but we'll have to see, obviously. Because there's obviously some key differences between beasts and dragons. So let's just go over her kit. So she comes with the Ruinous Frost, because her -1 cooldown, and if the foe initiates combat, or if the foe is above 75% health, gets the Spendthrift effect that we've seen on Saros and Halloween Rhea before. So that's pretty nice. And on her first attack during combat, she also deals damage 40% of the foe's resistance during combat, which is pretty interesting, because I don't know, I guess I could have expected her to base it off her own resistance, because her resistance is going to be really, really high. But they base it off the foe's res, which is actually pretty good, I feel like, because they have the adaptive damage. So if you have high res, either way you're going to have a bad time against Rhea's first attack. So that is Ruinous Frost, and I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I don't know what I can't talk today. But the difference between this and Twin Crest Power is obviously Twin Crest Power has this encounter built into it, and also has gives Edelgard that free action. And dragons can't use Gale Force, so they can't have any kind of free action. So Ruinous Frost here doesn't have any of that stuff, though it does have true damage, which is pretty cool. So that's going to be nice for Rhea. She comes with Glimmer, Bracing Stance 3, which is good because she's an armor unit, and then comes with True Dragon Wall. So this Dragon Wall, it's funny because we just had Medius, my boy Medius got into Fae, and he had a Hyper Dragon Wall, and now we have True Dragon Wall. So this one scales off your res, obviously, so it's higher than the foe, but this time it also scales up to 60% max, which is huge because normally it only goes up to 40%. Now it goes up to 60, which is wild, and that is for the first combat and player phase and enemy phase, and then also gets more damage reduction for the unit's second combat or later. So it basically means, I'm pretty sure it just means that it's going to be working all the time, because if it's in the first and the second combat or later, that means pretty much unlimited, right? So it kind of, I feel like it was almost pointless to say that. So she has a Mega Dragon Wall up to 60%, up to 40%. And then also, if a dragon or beast ally is on your team, excluding her, she restores 7 HP to herself at the start of turn and after combat. So it's not only after combat like Mystic Boost, it's also at the start of turn like Renewal, which is just insult to injury, I guess. So that is True Dragon Wall, really good skill for sure. Though the difference, I feel like, with this compared to Armored Wall is Armored Wall had this special fighter effect. You know, I mean, obviously she has Bracing Stance, so it's not completely gone, but she's going to have to run this encounter if she wants to Omni Tank everything, because she doesn't have this encounter in her weapon, and she's a near save tank, obviously, but you can obviously replace this with a far save skill, and she's definitely going to be good with far save because she has so much res. So even though she's lacking the special fighter effect, it might not even matter if she's just going to have so much damage reduction and you can't even kill her. So very straightforward unit. Obviously, we've seen a lot of save tanks. Of course, if you play Fae, you know save tanking is the meta, or at least part of the meta. So Rhea here is going to join in on the fun in her Fallen version. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like I said, I don't know if she's going to be as oppressive as Fallen Edelgard. Time will tell. But yeah, here's this Sword Cavalier doing a pitiful 10 damage after trying to do 23 of it, and just getting nuked by Rhea. So that is the Fallen banner. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely think it's interesting. Like I mentioned at the beginning, some choices I definitely didn't expect. A lot of people, of course, expected Chrom, Fallen King Chrom, to happen, but I was kind of not expecting it because Chrom already has his Valentine's ult earlier this year, and then he's getting his Brave version later on. So kind of glad it isn't Chrom because he would have too many ults. So yeah, and the free unit on the banner, I don't know if they showed it. Did they show him in the trailer? I don't think they did. But the free unit is Moram from the Tellius games, and Moram, a lot of people might not be familiar with him, but basically in Radiant Dawn there's some experimentation going on where Lagoos go crazy, so that's why he's on here. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be good or not. I hope so, because last year with Fallen Orson, the free unit last year was tragedy, and Orson was a really bad unit, so, or should I say disappointing unit. So hopefully Moram is a lot better, and he's a free beast unit, which is also always pretty nice. So that is the banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm not going to be summoning on it. I was kind of holding off because I was waiting for this banner to drop, and I was waiting to see if anyone here was someone I really liked, but thankfully there isn't. I mean, I like Ninian, but I'm not going to be pulling for her. Definitely going to go for her on the tickets, but yeah. So that is the banner, guys. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all the support, guys. Please stay safe out there, and wish you luck on the summons if you summon. Peace out.